We are live. This is the Reseller Wake Up, episode 121. Good morning, everybody. It's a Wednesday, and here we are. Another morning coming at you live, reselling, or, well, reselling related is could be possible. But
it might be.
How's the week been going for everybody? Everybody having off the hook sales? Deb, you still balling over there?
Deb's a baller.
Deb's a baller, balling out of control.
I'm sorry.
No, she's actually balling pretty in control now that I look at it. But
she is pretty in control.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, it looks like you're balling in control over there.
We're talking about Heb.
Oh, I was on the phone. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Balling on the phone.
Balling on the phone.
I went for my... Like that? Well,
Yeah,
wait,
there.
oh,
Now you're getting a little bit more out of control there.
I am out of control. I am out of control. I can't control myself.
Yeah. How's everybody's sales been so far this week? It's been picking up. Seriously?
It's actually picking up.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday was awful, but I've already given my theories on that. I think too many people were outdoors or at weddings or at, what all the springtime crap that happens. But yeah, that mine picked up this week. I don't know what is today, 19th, 20th. Yeah, eBay,
sales on Monday.
but mostly Amazon. But that's where most of my inventory is. So.
Is it bad that I haven't looked yet?
Is it?
Well, John's birthday was yesterday, and I'm not allowed to get him presents. We talked about that, so I was kind of trying to figure out.
Oh, is he one of those people?
Yes, I'm not allowed to get him presents.
I don't want anything. I don't need anything.
His mom got him a killer shirt. It's black, and it has the loading bar, and it says sarcasm loading, please wait. That's like 70% loaded, because everything that comes out of his mouth is sarcastic.
That's awesome.
His mother can get him presents. I cannot get him presents. Mine are okay.
So
It would help if I sent my shipments in.
Okay, I don't get this question. Drian Swanson says, do they know they are live? I hope so. You guys all know we're live, right? Just making sure.
Yeah.
What?
Drian didn't hear our conversation before we went live.
Oh, yeah. That was
Which basically ended with, shut up, we're going live. Hey, we are live.
Enough of this. We are
Going live.
Yep,
Going
this
live.
early. Is Jeff Davis in here?
Looks like
He's
he's
probably got no pants on. Or
Jeff made me an awesome thing yesterday, y'all.
He signed in and went back to bed.
Yeah.
He's like, well, just in case I decide to wake up later, I want to make sure that my space isn't taken
Saving
out.
the spot for the after show.
Get in while I hold my seat.
Jeff, do you have on pants?
I do have on pants. I have on shorts.
Yes. I have a very puffy
He's
face.
here. Hey, I have camo shorts on too.
Dude, that's like all I own. Because
I know, right?
Camo matches everything. According to me, according to my wife, I have no fashion sense and I dress like, well, never mind. Yeah.
We aren't allowed to say those words on here.
I pretty much dress like a homeless person.
It's pretty much.
I've been going through some medical crap this week, and I woke up this morning with a full body rash and a puffy face.
Ooh.
I didn't want to show the
Oh.
camera.
That's
And,
fun.
Yeah, I'm probably heading to urgent care in just a few.
Are you having a reaction?
That's what it sounds like. They put me on an antibiotic last week because I had a swollen lymph node, and so they wanted to rule out infection before they go testing for lymphoma. So I'm on this antibiotic, and then I went to a new pain specialist, and she put me on a new muscle relaxant. So I'm thinking it's got to be one of those two.
I discovered I was allergic to, I never thought I was allergic to any drugs, and apparently when they put me under for my ankle thing, I come out and I'm like, how'd I do? And they're like, well, we had a little bit of an issue. And I'm like, oh, God, almost like, because that was my big fear. I was like, oh my God, did I almost die or something? They're like, you're allergic to penicillin. And I was like, what? Like, I got taken penicillin my whole, they're like, yeah, you should have told us that. I'm like, I had no clue. So apparently I'm allergic to penicillin.
What's wrong with you? That's like what sulfa drugs do to me. like my face swells up really bad and I get a bad rash, and it's one of those things like it can kill you so super quick.
That's why if I start feeling a little bit weirder, I'm going to urgent care. Otherwise, I'm going to call the doctor at 8. I had an appointment set up already for Friday to go over the results of the antibiotics to see where we're going to go from there.
Is your face hot?
Yeah.
See, that's what sulfa does to me, and I'm like in the deathly allergic category. So I wouldn't mess around.
I gotta get my shipping done before I head out. So.
I love you, and I don't want you to die.
I think your face is hot, Jeff. No homo.
Jeff does have a pretty hot face.
He's definitely not feeling good. He said,
Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody worked in a banana or anything in there.
Actually, I have some.
Oh, it sounded worse than I meant. I meant the banana eating.
Totally going right over the top of that one.
Yeah.
Now, can carry on the conversation.
Apparently, the stuff that I sold overnight is going to be all the difficult crap to ship.
I just love that.
Like 2.5 feet long, 5-inch by 5-inch. Don't even know where I'm going to find that box. It's too long to telescope to shoe boxes. Shit.
I always just create my own boxes when it's like that. I like liquor boxes. I know people like hate on that, but if you turn them inside out, they're fine. And for something, if you need a little bit smaller, they're just a really good sized box for most stuff that you need to send. If it's just a little too big for a priority mailbox, or if it's something that's it doesn't fit. Yeah, like if you'll ship it cheaper than a flat rate box, then you can just take one of those apart and tear it down and everything, and like rebuild it into the right size, so that you don't have to pay like flat rate for something that would cost $5 to ship.
So speaking of which, I shipped the same size item. I have several of them, and I shipped the same size item on Saturday to Puerto Rico. It was there on Monday. Why can't we get the mail right in the United States, but we can get crap to Puerto Rico in basically one business day?
What the hell?
That's pretty.
I was just tracking.
It's because Friday is the ship-off day when they take it over, so that's when they load it all on the plane and take it over there. So you just got it on time.
I shipped it on Saturday.
Well, I was just bullshitting, so.
I was just thinking crap up.
Yeah. For some reason,
somebody's gonna catch that one little thing and it's gonna end up over in a group somewhere. Like, yeah, if you're shipping to Puerto Rico, make sure you do it on Fridays because that's when they take.
Dude, it's gonna be everywhere. By the end of the day, it'll be in like eBay mommies and.
Yep, you gotta have it at the post office by 4:30 if you're gonna get it off to Puerto Rico on Friday.
It left here, got scanned in, whatever. Was in Birmingham, which is 100 miles, which is our main sorting facility for here. It was there by 11:30 Saturday night, and it was checked in Lajas by 7:53 a.m. on Monday morning.
That's insane.
You could fly to Puerto Rico and isn't that fast? I guess Puerto Rico's really not that far, is it?
It's not far. Yeah, it's not that far.
No, it's probably closer distance than like California to New York. It's closer distance than Chicago to New York. Closer distance than like Virginia to New York.
My geography's not real good.
Dusty's all like all the way to Puerto Rico.
Words and states and.
I thought it was in New Jersey.
All the way over there.
No, I sent a Texas or a priority mail package to Texas yesterday, and usually it'll tell you how many days it'll take in big letters on the top, like 1-day priority, 3-day priority, depending on what they expect it to go to.
Right.
Usually, if I send it to Texas, it says 1-day priority, like it'll be there in 1 day. This one said 3 days for some reason. I don't know what's up with that.
I had one that was within Texas that said it was going to take 3 days, and I'm like, you guys are on crack.
Yeah.
It was there in a day, but it said 3 days on the thing.
Yeah.
But I had a package that was going to California that I printed the same day, and it said 2. And I'm like, you mean to tell me you're going to get to California before you get up the highway? Like, no.
So I did my first smart post because I don't know why I did, but whatever. So that gets dropped off with FedEx, not with postal, correct?
Right.
And then postal handles it the last. Okay, so I'm going to drop it off at my FedEx place. All right, cool.
Don't take it to the post office.
Yeah, because
Can you take it to the drop-off, like the Staples and things like that?
well, my mailbox store does all of them, so I'm
Anything
already
that's
headed
FedEx.
there now.
Okay.
But yeah, like it was confusing though, because the label shows the little G for ground for like the FedEx part of it, but then up here it shows the S and it says parcel select U.S. postage paid Smart Post. But it did. There was a warning that popped up, and I was 90% sure that it said like drop this off with FedEx or something.
Yeah, it says don't take this to the post office.
And it's going to California.
If you take it to the post office, it will eventually get there. In about like
What is wrong with our dog?
Can you guys hear? You can hear my dog, my roommate's dog. No, he's we just let him out and then put him downstairs, but my roommate left, and
Sounds so
he's been
pitiful.
howling ever since. And if I let him out, he'll just sit at the window or door and howl. And if I let him in, he'll get here and jump on the couch and howl. So it's like, whatever. He just likes to freaking whine.
It's like,
Cannot
which
help.
level of howl do you want?
Yeah, do you want the locked in the basement howl, or the glass door right next to me howl, or right here in the microphone howl? That's just
Poor
how,
buddy.
how he sounds, man. Like he doesn't bark normally. He like whines.
That's
But
so
yeah,
funny.
I'm gonna go let him out anyway. Just hopefully. We'll at least give him like 10 minutes.
At least you'll feel better, like, if you could sit there and, like...
But it's freezing cold outside. It's like probably 50 degrees out, and this dog he's like really short hair and everything. So I don't want to leave him out there either because it's all wet too and gross and just.
You know, he's gonna come in all muddy.
Yeah, he'll be muddy. He'll be cold out there, so I have to let him in if he starts howling.
4-shot Americano.
And then he'll just start howling again.
Oh, first world problem.
I know, right? He'll be all right. He'll be all right. He'll settle down. He'll get bored. No, but my sales have been pretty good on Amazon, better than usual. I did like $400 yesterday, and it was all like little stuff. Like,
Dang.
Lord.
usually
Jimmy.
when I have a big day, it's because I sell like a $300 item or something. But this was all just normal sales, and they've just been rolling in since Sunday. Ever since I did my price changes, it's been real consistent. Just boom, 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 boom.
Manually price change?
Yeah, I manually price changed.
Let's see. What was yesterday? 19th to the 19th. I didn't do that. I did 386.52.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I did that much. I need to go through and just, it's so easy though to go in and manually price. Just look for the green check marks and ding, 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 and go down through.
Yeah. It doesn't take that long, and I mean, is it worth it to pay $15 for a reprice? Sure, I think that's how much reprice is, like $15 or $20 a month. Yeah, probably. Because I mean, it did take me like 2 hours, but I didn't have anything better to do. I was sitting there listening to podcasts, sitting at my computer anyway, and it's either check Facebook or manually price change. Yeah, I'll go through Amazon and do something productive instead for once. But
What?
I don't really, most of my stuff is one-off. I'll go through on my items, and I'll go through and sort by quantity, and then look at like the items that I have more than 4 or 5 of, the items that I have quantity, so to speak, of. I'll go through and double-check and make sure that I'm competitive on those. But a lot of times, like my one-offs that have been there for a year or whatever, I'll just let them sit. I mean, they're going to sell, hopefully, eventually. But
yeah.
eventually, all the people below me will sell out.
Yeah, well, when I buy a one-off, then it's like $1, $2, $5 at the most, and I'm selling it for $20, $30, $100, $500. So I don't care if it sits for a year or two.
Because you got nothing in it, right?
Yeah, either that or it's a DVD, or well, not a DVD. I don't know, like a video game or a book or something small that costs a penny a month. So it doesn't really matter to me. I don't pay too much attention, but.
I'm looking at like the coolest RV ever.
So I gotta ask, 4 shots of espresso. That's what Americano is espresso. Add water, or shot and add water. So you literally make 4 shots, 1 cup, pour over water.
Right, and the cool thing is I can drink half of this, all right, and then later on fill it up with water again. It's just as strong as regular coffee.
No, that's how I like my coffee. I wasn't hating on you. I I usually do double shot Americano if I'm going somewhere or whatever. But like, yeah, quadruple shot, that's a lot of caffeine.
My stomach would hurt
Yeah, it is.
so
But it
bad.
gives you the kick in the morning, and then it's an all-day coffee. So instead of
until noon,
spending,
body crashes.
just fill it up with water again and
Keep going.
keep
Wow.
going.
All right, I'll be right back. I think
That's
my kid
how
just
I
woke
save
up. So
money.
that's if you guys thought that it was bad before, now that she's howling back at him, it's gonna be twice as bad.
That is awesome.
We use a French press and like an electric tea kettle for the water part of it, and I'll actually go in at like noon, and pretty much it's down to just the grounds and a little water sitting there, and I'll put more water in the electric tea kettle and pour it back over. Because like when I load, it's a 12-cup French press, but I load, I don't know, whatever the full grinder hopper on the bean grinder, probably 3/4 of a cup of coffee. I mean, it's a lot of grounds.
Right.
And then I let it sit, and it makes pretty much the equivalent of a, strong, regular sized, regular strength cup of coffee. Damn, I can't talk this morning.
I just
Okay,
can't do
so-
as much caffeine as I used to. Like, it makes me sick now.
Yeah. You got off of it for a while and you lost your tolerance.
Yeah, it's like worse than alcohol.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
So Turtle Trader asks if he sends a first-class package and he purchases the tracking through PayPal, will the tracking number be included? Yes. All first-class and priority mail is tracked. You get free tracking with it. The numbers should come up in the you should just be able to hit. Like after you print the postage, the tracking number should just be there on the transaction whenever you want. And that's through whatever, stamps.com, PayPal, eBay, however you send your stuff. But yeah, so I've been talking with, how I have a couple of those like
Friends?
email blast. No, I don't have any of those. No friends. That's why I started getting on the internet. I figured it'd be easier to make friends than trying to go out and socialize and stuff. No, but I've got like those email or those product blast things, whatever. Like you sign up for these services where you can get free products to review on Amazon.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one of them that I've been using, I get I've switched to a P.O. box for my forwarding address from my old address. And I had everything switched over to. I just want to keep using the P.O. box because it's just easier. But I had a package come in from Amazon, and I know what it is. It's like this big. It's like a little beard balm thing that they offered me to review, and yeah, so I get it. Or I get a little thing in my P.O. box the other day, and it's like, oh, you have a package at UPS. You can go and pick it up. It's at the UPS hub in Commerce City, which is like a suburb of Denver, basically like 45 minutes away or so from here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to go all the way out there to pick that up. Have you guys ever had that where they just a UPS package, they want you to pick it up like an hour away, and you know that it's like a little $10 item that doesn't even
Call it. You said it's got your P.O. box on it?
Yeah. Can I give them my address where I want it delivered and be like, hey, just deliver it here, or are they gonna?
That sucks if not.
Yeah.
I got into a conversation recently about somebody saying that you could have UPS stuff delivered to the post office box. And I'm like, no, you can't. They're not going to hold your stuff there,
No,
at the post office for nothing, for no money. Like, that's the post office. And she was like, no, they do. And I'm like, I don't think so.
I've heard stories in like small towns where the post office kind of had, agreements with specific drivers. I think it's totally an unofficial thing, but I have heard of it occasionally happening. But as a general practice,
she said this was like what they told her that was the practice. And I was like, no, those are two separate companies. They're not going to hold UPS packages at the post office for free.
Yeah, I mean, if you get one of those second or like third-party PO boxes where they take everything, UPS, DHL, FedEx, those companies are paying them to hold it, and you're paying the company for like the only way that they can compete with the post office for a PO box is if they offer that extra little thing to make sure that they'll keep on doing it. So I don't know.
I just don't see any reason why the post office would even consider keeping a package that they made zero money off of.
Well, if it's a small town, everybody knows everybody. It's like more of a good old boys club, and you're just cool with the post office. They can. It doesn't hurt, and it doesn't actually cost them anything.
This was their official. She was saying, like, this was their, like, this is what they did. Like,
No.
Like, all post offices should do that.
No, P.O. box. If you have a P.O. box at the post office, they're only going to accept USPS packages. They're only supposed to, and you just get one of those little cards.
I love having an independent. I know I've preached this before, but I have an independent, like, mailbox store type store that'll accept, like mine does, UPS, USPS, FedEx. They do both ingoing and outgoing. It's one address. It's a one state. It's just like basically like your home, except it's if you're
not even
your crap's held there because you have a box there.
Yeah, it's not even a PO box, right? It's a physical address.
No, it's a physical address. It's like such and such a highway, blah blah blah, suite. Mine is like suite E-666 for my box. No, my box number's not 666.
I was like, dude.
That's kind of.
Yeah, I had somebody recently got my phone number screwed. They're like, "Okay, your phone number's area code blah, blah, 666." I'm like, no. People who would have a phone number 666? No. Like, do they even have an exchange? Are you serious? They have 666 exchanges?
Do they really?
John, that's so demonic. I'm really unimpressed with you, and you're muted, by the way.
I muted him because he had some kind of weird feedback.
Yeah, you had some feedback. It's fine now. Seems like it's gone.
My mother-in-law's exchange is 666, so when she calls me, I know it's the devil.
That's awesome.
But her exchange is 666. It's in New Jersey.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't surprise me that it's from Jersey either.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Here we go, more drama.
So yeah, like I talked about before, if you get a box like that, you can get anything incoming, outgoing. I mean, it just it's a physical address, and it's worth. Plus, you get to write it off, and it's like $100 a year for me, and it's a write-off, and I don't have to worry if I go out of town that crap's sitting on my front porch. I can order whatever I want. Don't have to worry if I get an eBay return or Amazon recalls an item back that was damaged and sends it back to me or whatever, because I have that set up on auto returns. I don't have to worry about it. It just sits at my mailbox place until I go pick it up.
And they text you, right? Do they text you or email you?
No, they've got a system. I can get either one. I can actually log in online. I've got it set up right now to where it does both of them. But when the packages get there, he scans the package, and I get a text message and an email that says, "Hey, Dusty, you've received a package, tracking number, blah, blah, blah." And that's it. Which is cool. It shows the tracking number, because then I can go back and search my email and be like, what's that tracking number? Oh, yeah, that was for an eBay purchase or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's worth every dime of the $100 a year.
Yeah, I found one. It's $120 a year, and they're like UPS is free, even if you don't have a PO box. They don't charge you for UPS. They don't charge you for FedEx. I've been dropping off my FBA packages there actually, and they're always cool. I was thinking, man, why would you take these huge boxes and not even complain? But they get paid, like I said, by UPS per package. But USPS doesn't pay them crap. They're like, hey, we'll come and pick your stuff up. Yeah, we'll come and pick up your mail. That's it. They come and pick up your mail for free. So they charge $1 an item that doesn't fit in the little drop box. Because basically that drop box is the only thing that they don't have to touch. Like the
mail guy comes in and empties it, and they don't have to
yeah, exactly. But if they have to keep it behind the counter or whatever, now they got to touch it, so it costs them something. And so they charge $1 even to mailbox holders.
My guy's been really open about it, because I asked him, because I know how UPS stores work. I have experience in that area, and I know that UPS stores, for every UPS package you drop off, the franchisees get $1.50-ish. If it's an air package, they get a little bit more. But with these independent stores, I asked him when I first set the box up, I said, before I bring all my crap to you and dump it on you, do you get paid for these boxes? And he was honest with me. He's like, yeah, we get $1 and something for UPS and I think they get $1.50-ish or a little bit more for FedEx. So when I drop off packages with him, he's grateful for them because he makes money. But he does have a big sign up that says we do not accept, basically like yours, we don't take outgoing USPS packages except the mail slot. But if I have something, he'll take it from me. And he has a big mail bag that because it's a rural mail carrier out where that store is, and he just throws it in the bag. But I try not to do it to him because I know he doesn't make money off those priority packages that I give him. I just sit those on my front porch and let the carrier get them every day.
Right.
But if
Yeah,
I'm in the carrier and I'm going that way and I have like one thing, I'll be like, hey, dude, can you take it? He's like, yeah, no problem. But it's probably because I'm a box holder, too. That makes a little difference. So.
Yeah, well, one thing you do have to be careful of, though, if you're trying to keep top-rated status and you're using one of those third-party boxes, they don't scan your packages in. So if you go in, like, you have to find out what time the mailman gets there. Because if it's like one of those things where the mailman shows up at 2 o'clock every day and somebody places their order at 5 o'clock, you ship it that night, then you drop it off at 3 o'clock the next day, it's not going to get scanned until 2 o'clock the next day. So
Right.
it could be 48 hours. And if you have a 24-hour window, then, yeah, that can be an issue.
It doesn't have to be scanned the next day.
Yes, it does. It has
Top-rated
to be.
seller. No, it doesn't. Because if it did, I wouldn't be top-rated seller. Ever. Like, never, never.
Speaking of which, today's the 20th.
It
Hold
just has to be, it has to have the shipping, it has to have the label printed within the 24 hours.
I thought that they had to be, like, it had to
they
be
just have
scanned into the
scan it
system.
At some point during the shipping process.
Okay, so when
So
you
it doesn't
scan,
have to be scanned the next day. That would be impossible. Like, I mean, I would have no packages that were, you know, properly done. I'd be at like a 10%.
you don't drop your stuff off at the post. Oh, yeah, you have them come and pick up, right?
No. I do drop it off at the post office. The problem is like sometimes I don't like the orders that I got yesterday.
Yeah.
I might not actually ship them today. I might print my labels before 2 a.m. because it's Central Time, which is midnight California time. As long as I print my labels before 2 a.m., I'm still in my time frame of 24 hours. Of 1 day. It's not 24 hours, 1 day turnaround.
Yeah.
And as long as I get them to the post office the next, I mean, it doesn't even matter when I get them to the post office, as long as the labels are printed. And then as long as they're scanned sometime within when they're supposed to be delivered, then that's fine.
Kind of. I mean, it's still got to be delivered by the time they estimate it to be delivered by, and they're going to look at when. You can't sit there and print out a shipping label.
I have 95% on time.
I print my shipping labels usually within, I don't even care what day of the week it is or when it's, I mean, they usually go out the same day if it's before about 2 p.m. or 1 p.m., whenever my mailman runs.
Yeah.
But I print I mean, if it's Saturday at 1 o'clock and the mailman's already run, I go ahead and print the shipping label. And I don't change the date. I don't do anything. I just go ahead and print the shipping label, box it up, and get it ready for Monday.
Well, eBay counts that. I mean, they factor that into the delivery time. But I mean, what I'm saying is you can't print your label on Monday and then drop it off on Thursday.
No, I mean,
it's still got the package still has to get there by the estimated like window that eBay gives you, which is typically like 4 to 5 days for first class, even though it's supposed to be in 3.
That's not part of the top-rated seller, though. Like
it is within.
No, it being delivered within a certain time frame is not part of your top-rated seller metrics.
Hey, speaking of which, today's evaluation day, and I'm at 1.98, so I'm getting top-rated seller back.
Oh, good. Now I can go neg that item I bought from you.
Oh, my God. I've been sitting here on pins and needles for 2 days going, please don't somebody open a case. But I think it evaluates ending on the month, the 31st or whatever the month before, and then you do your evaluation on the 20th.
Yeah, so for the top-rated seller thing, it just has to have the tracking needs to be uploaded. The tracking needs to be uploaded within your handling time, which means if you print your labels within your day, then or whatever day you want. But I mean, if you got 2 days, then it's 2 days. But you upload your tracking within your handling time. That means printing your labels, and then if it's validated by the carrier at some point.
And it's my understanding. And it's my understanding you don't lose top-rated seller status. You just don't get discounts. Was my understanding.
Oh, no, you will lose your status because I lost my status. The only time I ever lost my status, and it was like a year ago, was because I was getting orders on Thursday nights, and I thought they were Friday orders. Because
On the eBay thing, though, it says that you have to have 1 day business handling time. If a buyer pays on Tuesday, you need to upload tracking by 11:59:59 Pacific time on Wednesday.
Right, which means you need to print your labels.
Right, but I thought you just said that you didn't have to have 1 business day.
Oh, you don't have to have one. You don't have to have 1 business day to have top-rated seller. You need to do it within your handling time. But you will not get discounts if you don't. You won't get your 20% if you don't have 1 day handling time. You can still have top-rated seller and get your shipping discount. You won't get your 20%.
Gotcha.
I have 2 day handling time on all 9,000 and some items I have. I am top-rated seller. I have never lost my top-rated seller.
Like,
I am required to upload my shipping within 48 hours of sale, and it must be scanned at some point. I run at about 99%.
So you can have top-rated seller and not do your stuff in 1 day, but you're not going to get the 20% invoice, like the 20% bill discount that you get. You don't get that.
Right. It just says top-rated seller.
I don't get 20% off. I just say.
So you could essentially have a 3-day handling time, and as long as you do your stuff within that 3 days, then you're still top-rated seller. You just don't get the 20%.
So if he would set his crap to 1 day handling, he would get 20% off his fees.
Right, but then what would happen is he wouldn't handle it within 20 days, and then within 21 day, and then he wouldn't get anything because he'd be non-top-rated seller because he'd lose it for not uploading stuff in time.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at my transactions, 1.3% or 1.35 defects and 98.63% within handling time.
I'm 96.62.
I'm at 94.67, and I had some that I know were late. Like I couldn't find it, and I was late, or I had a couple that I got distracted and I didn't do what I was supposed to do, and I didn't get on the computer and print my labels.
Right. Yeah, I actually had a return the other day, though. This lady, I sold a pair of Crocs boat shoes, and they were women's. They were size 12, M12. I looked up the RN number on Amazon. They were women's. I put them on. They fit me perfect, which means, like, it's like 2 sizes bigger.
Right.
That should fit a guy. And they fit me perfect. So I'm like, okay, women's shoes. They look like guy shoes, but this chick gets them, and she's like, these are men's shoes. They're not women's shoes. It's like, how do you figure? I mean, I was very, I did all my due diligence and everything. There's no way that they're men's shoes. There's just no way whatsoever, unless Crocs has a weird sizing.
Did you put the measurements in the listing?
I always do that. But yeah, it was like, whatever, send them back. I don't care.
I took an offer. I sold a pair. I hate listing shoes. I listed 2 pairs that I had laying here that were $75-ish. Whatever, that I should have never picked up, and I listed them yesterday afternoon. I took an offer of $45 on one of them. I was like, you know what? That's still more than I paid. By the time I pay shipping, I'll still get about 4 times my money back. Who cares?
Yeah, I hate shoes. I mean, they seem so easy, and I like the profit margins. Sometimes, if I can get them cheap enough, I'll still buy them. But I mean, most of the Goodwills around here, they're selling them for like a decent pair of shoes. They know what the brands are now. They're selling them for $20, $25, $40. I've even seen, and I gotta wait for half off day to even have a chance of buying them. And then even then, you look at it, it's like, well, I can pay $15 for these and sell them for $50 after, and then you can't even charge shipping because now, like, I don't know, I just factor everything in when I just do free shipping and I charge the shipping in the original price, Like if people are selling them for $50 plus shipping, I'll sell them for $65 or whatever, but it's still just not worth the hassle. I mean, I've got more returns on shoes than anything else, any kind of clothes, anything. But
well, it's such a personal thing. I mean, nobody's just because, like, if I wear a size 9, my feet are really skinny, so a certain shoe that would fit another person that's a size 9 isn't going to fit me, or might not fit me properly. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just so easy for shoes, even with Well, with measurements, if somebody would sit there and actually measure their foot, but
All right,
like
so
I
Stu,
couldn't imagine buying a pair of shoes that I hadn't tried on.
right.
I think
Well,
it's
Stu's got a quick question in the chat about what we were just talking about with the top-rated seller. If you change your handling time to 20 days, you can keep selling on vacation mode, and it won't lose your top-rated. That's true. At least, I mean, if you talk to, I listen to Scavenger Life quite a bit. They've got their own podcast, and they talk about it all the time. They keep their top-rated seller status when they're on vacation. They just leave everything listed, and they'll put it 10 days, 20 days, whatever, however long they're going to be gone, and then they come back and ship everything out, and they said that they've never had an issue. So,
Well, I know eBay does not allow you to open a case until that window is reached. So if you put, like for me, I have a 2-day handling time, and all my stuff basically says the slowest post possible. They cannot open a case for item not received or any of that for 7 days, because eBay says 5 days for the slow post and 2 days handling time is 7 business days. They can't open it for not arriving.
mm-hmm.
So if you set your handling time to 20 days and they give you 4 days, now you're out 24 days before they can open a case for item not received.
Right. Ronnie and Kevin, what's up, gentlemen? I use the term loosely. How you doing, Ronnie?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Nice.
Now,
Nobody wants to hear me complain anyway.
What's up, Kevin? How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't notice Ronnie was in here. What's going on, big guy?
Oh, the bearded man.
The bearded
Play with.
freak.
I don't have as long as you.
Yeah.
But it's definitely got to go because it's starting to get a little warm here and it's starting to get a little itchy.
Yeah, my girlfriend keeps telling me, she's like, I'm not going to kiss you if you don't cut that beard.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Gross.
Yeah,
You got to shave that.
I know. I need to do something with it.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, I keep thinking about it, but I don't know. I kind of like it too.
Yeah, she described that. It was a Mox Cloud
Yeah.
175.
Party.
What's
Because
that?
if I do shave it all, man, I get carded for everything. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, me too.
I have like a young face. Like if I shave this, I look like I'm 20, 19, 20. I've always had that issue though.
Yeah, me too. I'm starting to get the wrinkles though. You can kind of see the lines coming. Once I get my HD going.
My psychiatrist asked me the other day. She goes, why haven't you? She goes, well, you need to shave. I told you last time you came in here you need to shave. I said, I know, but I just hate my face. And she's like, you have a gorgeous face. I said, yeah, that's what everybody says to you in front of your face, and then behind your face, they're like, oh, this kid's nasty looking with a shaved face.
Nah, you just look like you're 12. There's a difference.
I look like a
But
little
some people
pedophile. Pedophilia.
Oh,
You know, hey, I had a guy stop, one time I think it was like a couple years ago, I had a guy stop me and ask if I want candy. And I'm like, no, I'm all set. Keep rolling.
Too.
I'm
I
all
was
good.
riding my bike too, and I have my spandexes on. My road bike I have. I had my spandexes on, and I was at a stoplight. The guy, I think he was joking with me though, and he's like, "Hey, boy, do you want some candy?" And I'm like, "What do I got to do for it?" He goes, "You have to come in my car." I go, "Well, that's not going to work because I have my bike here." He's like, "You can just leave the bike." I go, "No way. I have a $1,000 bike. It's not going to work."
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I've never run into an issue like that, but yeah, somebody just said, who was that? Troy Krieger just mentioned Scavenger Life had some negative feedbacks from doing the whole 20-day handling time thing, and I could see it happening. I would never do that. Okay, so when I moved out of my house and put everything in my storage unit, I completely shut my entire store down and ended every one of my listings. And now, like, as I find stuff, the listings are still there. They're still in my completeds. So as I find boxes of stuff that I had listed, I just go through my listings and relist everything fresh. And that's what I've been doing, and that's been working fine. I mean, I feel like that's not that much more work than putting everything on vacation mode and all that other stuff. So
No, but that's smart too, and I've done that when we moved or whatever. It's to go through and re-inventory and make sure, like you were talking about, and make sure that you have crap, because I've done that and then like found stuff that I thought was listed and it's not listed and it's been sitting there for a year. Or vice versa, go to find an item that I'm relisting and I'll be like, crap, I don't even have that anymore. Thank goodness I didn't sell it.
you know how many items I had that I thought were supposed to be listed that I thought I was relisting every week or every month, and it's like there's no listing on eBay for it. I know I listed it. I remember doing the listing. I remember taking the pictures. I remember doing everything. I know exactly how much I had it up for, and but there's no listing, and there were a bunch of those. So I'm thinking maybe it's a good idea to just. I know, like, one of the things Scavenger Life likes to talk about is how they just list it and forget it, and they've got all those items. And I mean, the way that if you listen to their podcast, they've got a lot of storage and everything, and they've probably got, and they say they know where everything is and all that, which I believe, because I'm kind of the same way. It doesn't, no matter how many items I've ever had listed and how disorganized it looks to somebody that isn't working with it every day, I know exactly where everything is. I've lost like one item in 2 years, and it was a little Lego piece, and that drove me crazy. But I mean, that's if you don't go back and check and make sure everything's still listed, though, eBay just makes those things disappear sometimes. They're like ghost. I don't even know why or how they go away, but they do go away.
That's why I use Attaway. I've never sold anything on there, but I use it to back up all my eBay listings because they keep them forever. And it's like all you have to do is press one button that says sync, and then I can go through, and I've actually gone through and like just kind of pulled the information off of Attaway, so that way I could put it back on eBay, because I've had listings that disappeared, or I've actually had things that I found again that I didn't feel like making the listing for again, so I just go and copy and paste and move it back over.
That's really good, especially the kind of stuff that you sell a lot of with like the
'cause
parts and appliances, because you don't need to take new pictures. I do that too. I'll just do a sell similar, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, sometimes
I like Attaway too, because I've had it where things disappeared, and I'm like, I know I listed that. I know it was there, and if I go, you can search like your deactivated listings on Attaway, and they at least know like it was there at one point, like at least you're like, I'm not crazy, it was there. So.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: okay, so if you're selling used parts and stuff, and let's say like me, I've been finding these Cuisinart steel carafes, which I love because they go for like $30 a piece or something like that, and they're always $2 or $3. But I've got like 3 or 4 of them now. Now, would you make a listing with quantity 3 or 4, or would you make separate listings, taking pictures of each individual one? Like if they have like their own little scuffs and scratches or whatever, do you want to make sure that the person's getting like exactly what they wanted, or are you just gonna go ahead and say it's used, it's the typical scuffs and scratches, and it still works? How do you do that?
What specific part are they?
It's a stainless steel carafe.
I would put the picture as the worst looking one.
That's what I do.
Or what I've done is make your last picture all 4 and say you will be receiving one of these.
No.
I have quantity available. I've done that. And
I've done that before, and honestly, I always get somebody that orders them, and then it's like, I only got one.
I thought I was going to get the top right one.
Yeah,
no, I thought I was going to get all 4 of them.
Yeah.
I've had that.
Just take the picture of the one that has the most damage, like the most scratches and stuff, and then the 3 other people will be really happy at the condition of theirs.
That's what I do.
And I always just put, like in pre-owned condition, may have surface scratches.
Right.
Clean and fine.
Every one of my descriptions for used stuff it has typical scuffs and scratches from regular use. That's like my copy and paste. Whatever, if I'm trying to sell something that doesn't have like a major defect.
So, are you talking about for eBay or Amazon?
eBay.
So let me ask you a question.
Both.
Let me ask you a question, because I'd like to find a way, and no, I don't want to use Octiva. Like I do the same thing. I've saved them to a Word document on my desktop, and then I can just cut and paste Like I have the same blurb that says, make me an offer by clicking the make offer button. And then underneath it, it says free shipping applies to the United States only, blah, blah. And I put that in because I use all fixed price, buy it now with best offer. I wish there was a way in eBay I know you can create what they call macros on your computer where you hit a certain keystroke and it pastes something, it does a certain action. I wish there was a way where you could save that as like a template. So I didn't have to. It's not a huge pain in the butt to go because I keep that Word document open while I'm listing to cut and paste and
I do the same thing.
But I wish there was a way in eBay. You know how they pre-fill in all your like PayPal information or all your returns are automatically pre-filled. I wish there was a way to have a template description where it would automatically insert that, and then I put my depending on the item, I handwrite my other stuff above that.
That would save time. I mean, when you're doing 30 or 40 listings in a day, that would probably end up saving you 15 or 20 minutes by the end of it, which is, I mean, that's significant. Depends on how much you want to pay yourself. But Sue has another question about the defect rating stuff, though. She wants to know if the buyer cancels an item while it's on while you're on vacation mode, and you tell them, hey, it's going to be 20 days before I can ship this thing out, and they don't want it, they change their mind because of that. As long as the buyer changes their mind and you've got everything in your description, then you're not going to get a defect. A buyer can cancel an item or can cancel a transaction by changing their mind if they want to. You just have to agree to let them cancel it.
I'm like you when you moved or whatever, like we're getting ready to leave. I just take everything down. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want the possible, I know Ronnie's done that when he went on vacation. I don't want that possible person that doesn't read that there's a 10-day handling time. I don't want a question of, hey, can I get the measurements on this when I'm nowhere even near the state or whatever. I just take all the crap down or let it end organically right before I'm leaving town and then just relist everything when I get back. I just don't want to deal with it. I mean, if I'm going to go on vacation, I don't want to deal with it, period. I don't want to think about it. I don't want my phone to, do I miss sales? Yeah, probably, but I mean, that's part of taking vacation too, though.
Exactly. I mean, if I was to go on vacation, I would just shut everything down and then reactivate it all when I come back. One thing you have to watch out for, like if you go on vacation, you put your entire store on vacation mode, you make everything invisible, and then you come back and you're not getting any sales, you should call eBay and make sure that that it's properly put back in or whatever. Mike, I know he had an issue where he took everything off of vacation mode. He went on vacation for 1 weekend, came back, no sales for like a week, and he had to call eBay, and they were like, oh yeah, all your listings are still invisible, and so they had to turn them back on for him. But
I went through the other day and went through this closet that's back there behind me that has like Amazon merchant fulfilled stuff, some of which Ronnie was going to hang out with me. He was laughing. But it was merchant fulfilled stuff that some of it's been listed for, I don't know, year and a half. And I was like, that's it. I'm done with Amazon merchant fulfilled. I'm converting everything to FBA. It was just pain in the butt stuff. It was books that had been there, a long time, some of which need to be polybagged because they're collectible. And it was just going through each listing on Amazon and clicking, change to fulfilled by Amazon, and then changing my, description a little bit, changing my price. And I went through, dude, and I culled out an entire half a storage tote full of books that should have never been listed in the first, like 5.5 million rank. I just don't even need to sell them. They were lacking pictures or had quality alerts. And then I was going through, and some of the items, I'm like, I know I listed that like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. Some of them I couldn't even find in my inventory anymore. So I was like, okay, is it worth selling? If it wasn't worth selling, I just threw them in a box. And I cleaned out 3 shelves in that closet, and it was a nice feeling. And it was kind of, I mean, I believe, I don't do it, but I really believe it's not a bad idea to do inventory every once in a while and reconcile what you have listed on eBay with and I used to do it, with what's actually on the shelf. And like you said, make sure that some items didn't just completely disappear from eBay, or that you have stuff listed you don't actually have. And check your quantities, because I've done that. Like I always use relist at the end of 7 days. Sometimes I'll do sell similar. And if you do sell similar and you had 10 but you sold 2, it's going to relist 10. It's not going to relist 8.
Right.
You said I screwed up on that one too.
That's gotten me in trouble. And I mean, most of as long as you're really good about your email, sending it to the buyer like, hey, this is a glitch with eBay. This happens sometimes. It automatically try and like deflect it a little bit so that you don't take all the blame. But just apologize that it happened. Can I offer you a discount on something else for the inconvenience? Blah blah blah. Whatever. I mean, I've never had an issue, but it's still one of those things where you could just have somebody that's like, oh, I thought I bought this. Screw this guy. Negative. And then eBay isn't going to do anything for you. Probably. I don't know. They're getting better about removing negatives, though. So maybe if you called them and told them, hey, look, this is your fault, maybe they would fix it. But don't be afraid to call eBay. I mean, same thing with PayPal. Anytime I've got a question, something looks weird, you know, like I had this chargeback the other day where that PlayStation 4 that I sold, this guy it was a zero feedback buyer from some country that eBay doesn't even ship to, and you know, like the name was weird. I didn't have a good feeling at all. I thought it felt scammy to me. Well, I called eBay and they're like, yeah, you can cancel that transaction, no problem. It won't count as a defect as long as all that stuff's true. And so I canceled it, and then I refunded them immediately. Next thing I know, I get a chargeback on my PayPal account. It's like, okay. So I called eBay or called PayPal to make sure that they weren't going to double charge me or whatever, or that there wasn't some like the guy didn't use somebody else's account and then is trying to get the money back on another account, and I wasn't going to be responsible for all that. They're like, no, it's fine. So they resolved that one. Then the guy opened another chargeback. So I called him again, and I mean, it's like 2 minutes on the phone. You know, you just call them, give them your little code, and you get somebody right away, and they're just like, oh, don't worry, you're good. No biggie, but.
Now that I think about it, I think that's why I'm at 1.98 and I requalified for top seller. I actually did call on the where's my list? On the 7th and got one removed. And I believe that's what put me down, because I was at 2.05, and most of my defects right now are counting 0.07% because of how many I have. That's how the math figured it out. So that would make sense if they removed that one defect. Either that or one of them fell off. Hopefully they actually did what they said and removed the defect.
Yeah.
And it was stupid. It was, you know, we were talking about Puerto Rico and how fast stuff gets there. It was a freaking first-class package going to, like, New Jersey that went to Puerto Rico instead. Apparently they're really good at shipping stuff to Puerto Rico that doesn't belong there, too. That's like the third package I've had that happen with. And the guy opened a case, and essentially I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I called the post office, opened a little case with them. It showed up in New Jersey a day and a half later, and they removed that case for me since it did show delivered.
Nice.
I had the worst luck with stuff ending up in Puerto Rico, though.
I've never had an issue sending stuff to Puerto Rico. Australia is my big one. Like, if I got
it's stuff that's not going to Puerto Rico that ends up in Puerto Rico. And that's like it's always my first-class packages.
Is there a hub or something? There must be.
My local hub's in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, your local hub's in Puerto Rico. Who knows?
Yeah, redneck.
Surprise me for the United States Postal Service. Well, it's more economical for us to ship all your shit to Puerto Rico and then ship it there.
Sounds like a typical government thing.
That's right. That's why we don't
not surprise
money,
me.
But, you know, we're losing billions of dollars a year, but.
Yeah, Nike shoes with good soles. So it sounds like Frank is having good luck selling Nike shoes and wants people to send him some. So if you got a bunch of Nike shoes that you don't want to deal with, get a hold of Frank Torres. Maybe he'll buy them from you.
Is he in Puerto Rico?
No, he's in San Francisco.
I don't touch any Nike shoes, period.
I dabble.
There's way too many
Yeah,
replica shoes. I mean, I used to sell them like over a decade ago. I know they can make any Nike shoe ever released, and I won't touch them.
Well, my best sale for a pair of shoes ever was a pair of Nike first-gen Air Jordans that I got off of eBay, like the 1985s. Or I got them off at the Wham Pam, sorry. I sold them on eBay. I got like $185 for them. But yeah, usually I just don't even mess around with.
I don't touch them. I picked up a pair of Jordans at the Goodwill a couple weeks ago, and I was like, man, these are in really good condition. Like,
Yeah.
it was like somebody bought them, wore them one day, and donated them, and I got to looking at them and I was like, these are fake. You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, I got all the way up to the register with them, and then I was looking and looking and looking, and I was like, nope, there's the thread messed up right there. Okay, and I gave them to the lady. I said, those are fake.
Yeah, that's why I don't buy Coach, I don't buy Prada, I don't buy any of those designer purses and wallets because I mean I can usually I in my opinion I could find something like it looks real in my opinion, you know what I mean? Like it looks you follow all the guidelines, you read the websites on how to tell if it's fake or not or whatever and like I just because it looks real doesn't mean that they're real, but
Well,
try
there
and
was
stay
a
away.
post in one of the groups the other day about a Tiffany bracelet, and I mean those are highly, highly, highly counterfeited. I mean they'll be real silver a lot of times, but they'll be real sterling. And I'll buy them if I come across them, and they're $1 or $2 just for the silver value. But I don't even list them anymore because they're so I mean it's so easy to fake one, and there's not a whole lot with Tiffany other than looking at their stamp to make sure it's even, and there's certain different little things you can look for, and their loops on all their bracelets are always complete soldered hole. They're not the push together kind, and different things. It's just too risky. And
Well, the other thing about Tiffany is if they're not selling it or they didn't sell it to you and they don't have some record of them selling it to you themselves, then they're just going to call it fake.
yeah, they're gonna vero your butt. It's not worth doing. I mean, if I come across stuff, I'll usually give it to my wife. I mean, we found real stuff and fake stuff both, but I'm like, do you like this? It's Tiffany, but it may not be. And she'll be like, yeah, or no. And then it goes in the scrap silver pile or whatever.
It can be so hard to tell. Like I have a Coach bag that I've had, really big tote, and I've had it for, God, it's got to be 13 years now. And I abused the hell out of that bag, and it didn't fall apart at all. And so when you look at these bags that you see at the store, and they've got like thread coming off, or the leather has that fraying type thing, the bags don't do that. Like a quality bag. I had found one at Goodwill that was the same fabric, the same signature, as the Coach bag that I have, and I had a really hard time with it. I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure this is authentic. Like I had them both side by side, and I'm feeling on them. Normally you can feel on the fabric and tell, and then normally you can feel on the leather and tell. And I was like, and I'm still not 100% sure that bag is real.
Yeah.
But it's got all of the makings of it. And a friend of mine told me, she's like, no, that's real because I know because I was going to buy that bag, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. So Troy said that he's got a bag of computer memory that he doesn't feel like listing. Speaking of like having stuff that you don't feel like listing, if you want to take some pictures of that and hit me up on Facebook, send me a picture, or at least give me let me know if you know like the size of the sticks or the frequency or whatever, like if they're DDR2 or 3, if you know any of that stuff, like whatever details you can give me, I'd be interested in taking a look at it for sure, and I'm sure some other people would be too, but I like dealing with memory, it's easy.
Oh, I forgot about the golf tees.
Doesn't Adam, what's his name? His name's Adam, right? Adam Coleman? Doesn't he have a new group for selling things to each other? Like sellers selling it to each other?
Oh, I don't know about that. I got invited to
Bolo something, Bolo Trade or Bolo something. It was on his last video, he talked about it.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
All
Can you
right. What was that?
Can you fit a size 11.5 pair of shoes in a regional A?
No.
No, I usually use
You can't.
I'm sitting here looking at them. I'm like, maybe if I bend the toe up at about.
No. So you can get an 8 in a regional A, but you can't get on.
I see, like if I just fold it a little bit.
That would save me $3. You know what? I bet I could put those in a padded flat rate, Chad Pagel.
Actually, I've done that. Like, I haven't sent them, but I'm like, man, these fit perfect.
There's no way those are going to padded flat rate.
No.
To save like $3.50.
I know.
Things are huge.
You try it just to see if it works, but then you're like, no.
They're actually, I did my haul video. Ronnie probably remembers because I was in a thrift store and I texted him. I'm like, dude, I've never heard of this brand. I don't do shoes. The brand was Goki, and apparently it was like a company that got bought up by Orvis. They're made out of bull hide. This pair of shoes weighs 4.5 pounds.
Holy cow.
Jeez.
Put them on the scale. It was 4 pounds 6 ounces. Well, almost 4.5 pounds. The soles are like, I don't know what the soles are made of. Steel or something.
Lead.
And
The
of
group
course
is
the one-
called Bolo Group.
Pennsylvania.
What?
Sorry. I said the group is called Bolo Group.
Right on.
Well, actually, it's called Arm
Right
to
on.
Sell for Sell Group Buyer and Seller Nationwide Network. He got to change that. but the web URL is Bolo Group at the top.
Oh wait, Adam is the guy that runs Arm to Sell, that
Yeah.
YouTube channel. Oh, okay. I was gonna have him on a few months back, and we just kind of lost contact.
He does
But-
some really cute videos. Like, I like his production.
Yeah, is he the guy that does all the fantasy football stuff too, or is that somebody else?
I don't know him that well.
Okay, I was watching that. There were like 2 or 3 guys out there that were making videos that I would watch all like every once in a while. I would always get them mixed up, but I know one of them was like a fantasy football guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he does like road tripping, like
Oh, that's cool.
where he goes and travel like 800-mile, sourcing trip or whatever.
That's the kind of stuff I'd like to get into
Yeah.
myself.
I just started watching his video. He's in the 1500. That's where that's how I found his videos. He posts his videos in the group.
The 1500.
The 1500.
So, Kevin, I'm guessing you're on a tablet then, right? So you can't see the chat. We're trying to.
No, I can't see the chat. I don't know. No, I'm on my phone. It actually comes in better than the tablet. I think because it's faster. Even how crazy is that? My Note 4 is faster than my tablet.
Right.
So I tend to get a really good connection with my tablet. I mean, not my tablet.
Your
my
laptop.
phone.
Oh, okay.
Ever since I got the Note 4, I don't even use the tablets at all, really, unless I'm researching and doing some writing. And that's about it.
Yeah, you're showing up in HD, like you're really super. Well, you're going kind of in and out, but you're.
Yeah, you're a little choppy, but you're coming in. You're looking pretty good there. But I was just asking if you wanted to talk about the 14,000 subscribers in the Thrifting Lounge.
Oh yeah. Thanks for everybody, whoever has subscribed to us and likes us. We just hit 14,000 subscribers today. It's been a long road. I guess we've been doing it for 14 months now. I thought it was like just over a year. That's how fast time flies. So I've known Ronnie for over a year now. So that's crazy. And so, yeah, 14,000 Facebook members, which is pretty cool. And I don't know if we're going to do any contest or anything for it. Hold on, let me move. My kids are in my room now, in my eBay room now. There we go. There we go. Now I'm out in the kitchen. Probably see a little bit better. But no, yeah, just super stoked, man. You know how hard I busted. I can't say we busted our ass to get here. You know what I mean? Some turmoil, some ups, some downs, and but it's fun. I love it. I love the group. I'm trying to get Paul to do a podcast with me. I like his setup, and I think we can really do well. Because I've been trying to get a hold of people that do the podcasts, and it just seems like they don't want to help out. Like they don't want to help me, like with the information and what I need and stuff like that. I don't know if they see me.
No, I think it's mostly that they don't want to take their time to hold somebody's hand through everything. Because, I mean, you know how if you find somebody that's just getting into something and they don't really know anything about it, but they're really interested in doing it, and once they realize that you're willing to help, they're just going to keep on asking you questions and asking you questions and asking you questions.
Isn't that what we do, though, right? Correct? This is exactly what we do. This is like our community. We tend to hold people's hands sometimes and help each other out. And
yeah, so I feel like in our community, and especially like in our positions, we kind of take that for granted because we're willing to do that. But then when we go to another community with a completely different group of people that none of them know us, none of them know.
No, it's not even that. It's the people in our community that have podcasts that
really?
Help me out with any sort of anything, like Skype call or anything. You know what I mean? It's not hard, but it's just I want to do it the best way possible. and I'm feeling that I have this. I go to this group called the Podcasters Hangout, and they seem to be helping. But it's like the people in our own community, I don't know if they see it as competition or not, but it's like, like I'm sitting there asking, like, not hard questions, just like, hey, what's your setup? What would you say just to get off to start, And
Yeah.
one time I had a guy help me out for like an hour. I talked to him on the phone, seemed cool, and I wrote him 2 messages afterwards, like between 3 days. Now you could see he saw the message and he never wrote me back, and I'm like, well, that's not cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm here to help everybody else out. And I'm not asking for much. I just want to put a freaking podcast out. I like the podcast. I like the idea. I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's
mainstream. A lot of things on podcast, and that's why I thought me and you should make a podcast, Paul. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, there's enough resources out there that we can figure it out ourselves. We don't need somebody to hold our hand, so we'll get it done.
Yeah.
It sounds like it sounds really interesting to me. I mean, one thing that I've always wanted to do with this show is make it into a podcast somehow, and I've just never really figured out how to do it, and I don't want to spend so much time.
Can't you just hold on? I thought you could just download the audio. Can't you just download the audio? And
you gotta have a program to download the audio. You can't just do it from YouTube directly.
Yes, I just downloaded
I saw one that was free because I was actually trying to get some
But
because I have.
It's the time that it takes. It's like, you know how it takes hours to upload a video sometimes? I mean, these are 2-hour shows sometimes. You have to when you're ripping the audio, it can take just as long to rip it, I guess, as it takes to upload. And now like the reason why I do this Hangout is because it's a lot less time consuming, and I mean, it's just simple. I don't have to do a lot of editing and all that stuff, and we still get a lot of great information put out there. So, I mean, I don't want to add another 2 or 3 hours to my day trying to get an extra 100 people to listen to my podcast. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, though, is I see there's like a lot of people. There's people out there that just with what we do, there's not much people out there doing podcasts. There's only a few of them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, we already have fans, and we already have people that are going to listen to us. And I think it'd be cool taking calls and stuff like that. I think there's like a line where you can do a voicemail where people can leave questions and stuff, but I'd also like to somehow do the Skype calls where like people come in and they can ask you questions, or you can interview people, or just talk that way. I think that'd be pretty cool. See, because right now I'm more interested in doing a podcast than doing any YouTube videos. Only because I know there's not much people doing the podcasts. So if you can get a home run with the podcast, I mean, you can do pretty well with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look how good Scavenger, I still call them eBay scavengers. Scavenger Life, their podcast is. They have a huge following from it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how, when I started, I would just listen to the podcast before we all started doing these hangouts, because I don't think really much people were doing hangouts besides the green room. You know what I mean?
Right. You're right. Well, with that, we got to wrap this up, guys. We went way over today, but Troy, hit me up on Facebook about those memory sticks. I'd definitely be interested. And, I get first dibs. That's all I ask. Nobody gets to snake them from me unless I say no. But anyway. What's that, John?
I'll give them double what you offer them.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess.
I'm kidding you. You know I don't do anything like that.
Yeah, you just do it to troll me. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. It's time to go. But thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for coming on. Ronnie, Danica had to run and take care of her kid. Deb, John, Jeff, Dusty, Jake, love all you guys, and you, Kevin. We're gonna make the podcast happen. I think it definitely seems like something that'd be fun to do, and not like I get enough time on talking a week, but I just do it every once in a while.
I have the Adobe Audition, and I guess that's what like Bonafide Hustler uses to edit his videos. But I'm not looking to edit video. I guess if I can get your soundbite and my soundbite, you just put them together, and like in a minute, it's like connected to like your, like a I don't know. We'll figure it out. And I just downloaded a 10-hour video on how to use Adobe Audition. So by the end of 10 hours, I hope I'm able to know a few things or two, you know?
Right. Well, you get it figured out then we'll get it started. But everybody, thanks for watching. Go check out the Reseller Wake Up on Facebook. Go check out the Thrifting Lounge. Go check out the Reseller Society. If you're not a member of those groups, then it's a lot of great information, lots of people in those groups. And then my group, it's just the easiest way to find my show on Facebook. I pin the latest episode to the top there every morning. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Love those thumbs up. Love those subscribers. If you find the show on YouTube, easiest way to do it is just subscribing to my channel. But anyway, we will see you all on Friday, and Bitcoin.